Well, hello there, I'm Emrys from CruiseHive.com. Well, I hope you're all doing well and that you're ready for another busy week of cruise news. What a surprise, eh? Plenty of updates for you, including issues with ships from Norwegian Cruise Line. In this weekly cruise news update, we've got the latest on two Norwegian Cruise Line ships that are currently having issues. Construction officially begins on Carnival Cruise Line's third XL class vessel. New enhancements for Holland America Line that are for all sailings. Australia is set to reopen to cruise ships after 2 years. And of course, the CDC lowers its cruise travel advisory. Well, we've got plenty to get updated on, so let's get started. Well, let's start with some good news with LiQWYD, as it has officially started building Carnival Cruise Line's newest XL class cruise ship, Carnival Jubilee. Carnival Cruise Line and LiQWYD representatives attended the ship's steel cutting ceremony. The build period will take less than her sisters, with the delivery date scheduled for the end of 2023 and the first cruise for October 30th, 2023. The shipbuilding team celebrated the maritime tradition with confetti and champagne at the LiQWYD Laser Cutting Center. The builders cut out a silhouette of the ship from the steel, which everyone in attendance signed. A special plaque was also cut from the same piece of steel to commemorate Carnival's 50th birthday. Once completed, the 182,800 gross ton Carnival Jubilee will be the third LNG-powered cruise ship sailing for the Miami-based cruise line. The hugely successful and popular sister ship Mardi Gras joined the fleet in 2020. The second XL class cruise ship for Carnival Cruise Line, Carnival Celebration, is scheduled to debut in November 2022. The arrival of the vessel will mark the culmination of Carnival Cruise Line's 50th birthday celebrations. Well, Carnival Jubilee will sail for the first time on October 30th. The maiden voyage will be an 18-day transatlantic crossing from Southampton, and of course that's in 2023. The vessel will then begin cruises from Galveston, Texas in November 2023. On Monday, March 14th, the Norwegian Escape ran aground while departing Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. With the help of local authorities, including 2 tugboats, the Breakaway Plus class cruise ship was eventually freed in the early hours of Tuesday, March 15th. The vessel was safely taken back to the cruise port in Puerto Plata so that any damage could be assessed, and apparently there has been some minor damage to the Norwegian Escape. So as a precaution, all guests were notified that the voyage was cancelled and all guests were to be flown back to the US. Getting all the guests back has not gone so smoothly, as many do not have a passport. The cruise line is working on resolving the situation, and some passengers have already disembarked the vessel. NCL is arranging alternative and charter flights for guests back to Orlando in Florida. Norwegian Escape was sailing a 7-night Caribbean cruise, and Puerto Plata was the first call on the voyage. The cruise line has not only cancelled the March 12th cruise, but also the following March 19th sailing, so that repairs can be made. And as we are recording this, apparently the ship has now departed Puerto Plata and heading back to Miami with, of course, no guests on board. Guests are being provided a refund and a future cruise credit. Well, it's all been happening there with the Norwegian Escape. We've got all the coverage and latest developments on that situation over on CruiseHive.com. Well, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but the Australian government confirmed that the country would not renew the ban on international cruise ships arriving or departing from its ports. It does mean that the ban will come to an end on April 17th, 2022, finally clearing the way for the restart of the cruise industry down under. The cruise ban in the country was last extended in February 2022 and was previously set to end on February 17th. The government has developed protocols to make sure guests and crew members remain safe when cruises do resume operations. Cruise ships would have to meet the requirements on a national and local level. Passengers will be required to be fully vaccinated, and cruise ships will have to implement appropriate operating and outbreak management plans. It's been a long wait for a cruise restart in Australia for sure, which has remained closed to the industry for more than 2 years since the industry-wide suspension started in March 2020. The cruise ban was part of Australia's Biosecurity Act 2015. The cruise industry has proved it can offer great cruise vacations safely and is putting the pandemic behind as cases reduce and more vessels resume operations. The CDC has lowered its travel advisory for cruise ships again, reiterating that cruising is still heading in the right direction. The travel notice is now at level 2, the lowest since the start of the pandemic and when the cruise industry suspension first started in 2020. The CDC now says, quote, "Make sure you are up to date with your COVID-19 vaccines before cruise ship travel," end quote. The advisory was last updated on February 15th, 2022, when it was lowered from level 4 to level 3. Cruising has remained safe, with cruise lines implementing strict protocols, guidance from the CDC and health experts. There are procedures in place to deal with any cases. More cruise ships are back sailing with guests on board, and cruise ships operating in US waters are under the CDC's voluntary program. You can check the status of cases for each vessel and the color status within the program on the CDC's cruise ship color status page. Holland America Line is rolling out enhancements to make it easier for guests pre-cruise and during the embarkation process. Holland America is implementing the use of Embark facial recognition. The mobile system enables guests to check in for their cruise within 10 seconds, which will significantly speed up boarding. Guests will also be able to start using the LiQWYD digital wallet app, allowing them to get their vaccination status and testing approved before a cruise vacation. Carnival Cruise Line, owned by the same parent company Carnival Corp, has already launched the LiQWYD option for all of its sailings in the US. In March, the LiQWYD option was first introduced on the new Rotterdam cruise ship. It will now roll out across the fleet by the end of March and available on Holland America ships as they return to service. The new enhancements detailed are for cruise departures in all US, Canadian and European home ports. Norwegian Cruise Line did confirm with Hive that on March 16th, quote, Norwegian Joy's propulsion pod experienced minor technical issues, causing the vessel to slightly reduce its speed, impacting its docking and undocking mechanism, end quote. And as a result, the scheduled call to Cozumel, Mexico was cancelled on March 17th, 2022. Norwegian Joy was set to arrive at approximately 8 AM and not depart until the evening. The ship sailed directly back to its home port in Miami, Florida. Repairs are set to take place while at Port Miami. While Norwegian Joy is ending its 7-night voyage that departed Port Miami on March 12th, the Western Caribbean itinerary includes calls to Roatan, Honduras, NCL's private island of Harvest Caye in Belize, Costa Maya in Mexico, and of course Cozumel, which never took place. The following cruise is an identical 7-night Western Caribbean itinerary, and yes, it's still set to go ahead, so all that should be fine. The ship is part of the large Breakaway Plus class and has 167,725 gross tons and has a guest capacity of 3,804 at double occupancy. Norwegian Joy was built in 2017 and was last refurbished in 2019. It was just another busy week in the cruise industry. What a surprise, right? And we've got all the cruise stories over on cruisehive.com, including limitations on initial sailings for Pride of America, more Norwegian cruise ship issues there, more rights for guests when it comes to refunds. Norwegian Cruise Line reveals godmother for the new Norwegian Prima. MSC cruise ship pulls out of Baltic season. Royal Caribbean launches new hotel booking engine. Confusion between P&O cruises and P&O ferries, and lots more. It's never ending, is it? I hope you did find the video informative. If you did, please do feel free to like the video and subscribe to the Cruise Hive YouTube channel. Thanks so much for your time. I'm Emrys from cruisehive.com, and I'll see you all soon.